And welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. It is me, your boy Rico No Suave, here on a 1-2-1-2, ready to go with each and every one of you guys. Oh, wait. I am super happy to be back with every one of you guys, and thank you guys so much for actually tuning in. You know, one of the biggest things that I always say every week, how you miss me and I miss you, that's what it's all about, because you are here with us just for 1 hour of your time. And I thank you so much as far as for your support. If you're here with us live, go ahead and share and share again, because we share to like. Let's go, baby. And if you're waving to the TV, hi, how are you? I'm Rico. What's your name? Yes. So thank you guys so much for actually tuning in. We got a fun-filled packed show for you guys today, and we're ready to get it on. We like to start off with something of awareness, and this awareness is all about Men's Health for June, everybody. So this is June is Men's Health Month, health overall. And one of the things that we do as men is try to keep up with our health when it comes to mental and also to physical as well too. And if you have some friends or you have some male friends that you may see that there is some things that's actually going on within their life, here's a way for you to be able to support men with their mental health. Normalize conversation by sharing your experience, right? Help raise awareness on men and mental health. So be a part of the community, be a part of the awareness. Encourage them when they share. Make sure you keep it positive as much as you can. If you hear some negative that's in there, always try to turn into positive or try to understand where they're coming from. Even if they refuse, ask them twice. Yes, ask them twice. Provide a safe place for them to share. There you go. Always be for them as well too. And also recognize any change in behavior or attitude, right? So so making sure that you actually recognize any change, and make sure if you see a change in behavior, That's what happens, everybody. That's what happens. You want to basically make sure that you're recognizing them and go from there. Yes. All right, everybody. That is mental health awareness for us men. And, I have to be honest as well, too, as far as for myself, I go through that as well, too, as a man, that some days I have my bad days and we go through that. And it's always good to be able to speak to family members and people that's positive around you. And even sometimes if you have a therapist, sometimes a therapist might even be able to help you as well, too, to get some nice counseling. So if you have a male friend or family members that may be going through this, make sure that you actually pay attention and also help them in a time of need as well, too. Let's get it on, everybody. Oh, I am super happy about this one because you know what? There is love in the name. And when we talk about love, this beautiful lady, she loves to produce. She loves to be in film. She's also loved to be on television, everybody, when it comes to production. I mean, there's so many great things that she has done within her life, and I'm so happy to be here. Another thing that she loves is to be a humanitarian and also in fashion. Oh, wait. Yeah, man. Hey, when we talk about fashion, she definitely knows how to dress. I want you guys to stand up, put your hand to your heart, blow her a kiss, put your hands together for none other than Antoinette Love Ransom. Let's go. Yeah, Antoinette, are you there?
I am here. Thank you for the intro. I appreciate you.
Thank,
That
thank
is
you.
that is a beautiful intro. I've done a lot of interviews. Not by far, I have to say you are the best at it.
Oh, wow. That means a lot to me. Thank you. That means a lot to me. And it's definitely out of passion to you. And of course, always loving to have that name there. Love is love, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Hey, welcome to the show. Before we get started, do you have any shout outs that you want to give out to anyone?
As a matter of fact, I do. I want to give a shout out to Feeding America, Habitat for Humanity. I want to give a shout out for everyone that believes in me. I would say Lynette Matson. The list goes on and on. My friend Vinny, he's been amazing. Brooke's been amazing.
Yes.
David Reedy, David Gradney. I mean, there's so many people I need to thank. Nancy, who's my makeup artist.
Let's go.
Um, Yes.
Let's go.
Like
Let's
it
go.
takes a village to get me together, honey. It takes a
Well, we appreciate the village. We
yes,
appreciate the
absolutely.
village. That's awesome, man. Hey, we're ready to have a great time with you, and I hope you're ready to have a great time with us as well too. But let's get it started because there's so much to, and there's always. I tell people that have done so much for the world and for themselves, there's always got to be a part two, right? So we're going to call
Yes.
this part one, Antoinette. That's what we're going to do
Okay.
right now. Okay. Let's get it on. Let's get to that first question. When it comes into being influenced in the film industry, what was your influence or who influenced you to actually get into this industry?
Well, it's strange because I remember being 5 years old, being raised in a small town, Springfield, Missouri. And I remember telling my mom, I'm going to be a star one day. I'm going to go to Hollywood one day. And I used to dance. I used to play instruments. And I used to act out scenes on TV. So
Mm.
I would say the biggest influence for me growing up was shows like Different Strokes, Facts of
Wow.
Life, Good Times,
Yeah.
Sanford and Son. And I was
Dun,
just a
dun, dun,
shorty,
dun.
but those really gave me the motivation. Said, "Hey, they look like me. If they can make it, I can make it." Right?
Yes, yes. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That influence though, because also there's personality behind that too. Because when they're
Yes.
acting, sometimes it's just natural. Like Red Fox, dun,
Mhm.
dun, 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 you know what I mean? Like when he was doing his thing,
Right.
it was just the bomb, because that was
Mhm.
him as a comedian though. Um,
Yes, it was.
what was it like for you in regards to your personality, your characteristics, knowing that you knew that you wanted to be in Hollywood? How did you
Mhm.
want people at a young age? You're young, but at an age at that time, how did you feel like you wanted to portray yourself into the film industry for people to know you?
Well, well, to be quite honest, at the time, MTV just blew up when I was little. Right? It just came out.
Yeah.
And I used to look at Michael Jackson's video Thriller and everything. And I
Uh-huh.
used to act a lot like celebrities when I was in school, just young, elementary school. And
Yeah.
people used to say, "Oh my God, Antoinette's crazy. She's out there and everything." My mom thought something was wrong with me because I was always acting like a different person. But I didn't know I was preparing myself for theater, for film, for production. I didn't know I was doing that. I just thought I just loved copying off of people as a kid, you know?
Mm,
Yeah. But I would
yeah.
say the biggest thing was the music, the dancing, and the acting together because I did all three and I grew up in theater.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. In theater,
Yeah.
was it more of musicals or was it more just a regular play?
I did musicals.
Okay.
I did a lot, although I can't sing. Let me put that out there. I could play instruments, honey, but I can't
O-
sing.
Okay. Okay.
But it was a lot of musicals I did in Kansas City, and then I won a couple of awards. I won an award for A Christmas Carol when I was like 12, and I won
Nice.
another award for a play called No Exit. I played a lesbian in a play
Okay.
called No Exit. Um, yeah, and then I won another award for Wizard of Oz, where I played the Scarecrow. And
Oh,
I
that's
kind of knew at
cool.
that pat that I was meant to be on stage, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. You said the Scarecrow. That was one of my
Uh-huh.
favorites right there. The Scarecrow was one of my favorite,
Yep. Dancing.
right? You had to dance.
Yep. We'll
Exactly.
remember the dance. Just you know.
Yeah, right. Hey, what's so cool about it is that being able to dress up because I like Halloween. I ain't gonna lie, I like Halloween,
Mhm.
and when Halloween is there, I love to dress up in my favorite characters. But one of the things is that when you're on stage and you're playing that character itself, what was stage fright for you? What level of stage fright, or how did you prepare for it? I wouldn't say stage fright, but how did you prepare knowing that you're going to be with a live audience watching you during those plays?
You know what? I had a good nervousness with theater. The time I
Okay.
was really nervous where I kind of threw up and I just couldn't go out on stage is when,
Oh,
and I'm embarrassed to say this, when I danced for R. Kelly.
okay.
He opened up in Kansas City. I was like 18 or 19, and this is supposed to be my big break into like being a dancer.
Uh huh.
And I don't know what it was, the crowd or his energy, but I couldn't go out there. I clammed up. I got so nervous, you know?
Wow.
But then, they had to warm me up backstage. And after that, I was good. And then they wanted me to jump out and dance with Drew Hill. So I got to dance with Drew Hill at the time. And then
Wow.
but they had a different energy than R. Kelly.
Yeah,
Drew
I
Hill
know.
they were nice. Um, R.
Yeah.
Kelly was kind of out there in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of out there. I hate to put his business out there, but he was out there.
Yeah, well, I mean, we all know about R. Kelly and what went down with him. But Drew Hill, tell me what you want. Tell me what you
Hmm.
need. That's all I gotta
Yep.
say. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. Right. Exactly. That's gonna
Still
be in
remember
my
the
head
moves.
now. Hey, but that's so cool that you were able to get into that R&B arena, but also
Hmm.
to be able to hit theater, to be in front of people, and also
Hmm.
to be able to know that when you're actually going for like concerts and you're dancing behind groups
Yes.
as well too, your stage presence was just like you were building
Mhm.
that confidence to be able to conquer that stage. That's
Yes,
what I'm
and it's
talking about.
it's so competitive. There's
Yeah.
so many dancers out there and so many good dancers. Like I met a lot of I wasn't trained. A lot of these dancers were trained. They took classes and they grew up being a dancer. Oh no, honey, I was hood. I was a B-girl in the street break dancing with my cousins on some cardboard
Let's
boxes, okay?
go. Let's go. Let's go. That's me
Yeah,
right there.
I was the hood dancer. But
Let's go.
whatever it was, my style, people loved it. I was raw, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But when it came to choreography, like 1, 2, 3, 4, I was like, oh no, see, I don't count when I dance. I just dance. And I had to get used to that. Like
Yeah.
choreography is different than freestyling. I had to
Yes.
get used to it. Ooh, it wasn't easy. But I got used to it though. It took a couple of years, but I got used to
Let's go.
it.
Yeah, I think the cool thing about that is that we call it the barrio, right? The barrio when
Hmm.
you're actually in the hood in the barrio when you're dancing because you dance off of the
Hmm.
music, you dance off of
Yes.
feeling, you dance like
Hmm.
it's like saying, "Hey, I can play an instrument, but I can't read music, but I can play by ear." Right?
Yes.
And just
Yes.
like, oh, that's just how it is because you grew up with that musical vibe. It's in
Hmm.
your blood, and it
It
just
is.
it just and then when you kind of come down with the structure,
Yeah.
oh, it's so
I
hard.
struggle with choreography. Even me dancing with celebrities, I had to go back to my hotel room and really practice because all the other dancers had it because they were trained.
Uh
I
huh.
wasn't trained. I had to really make sure I was hitting those points because I don't like counting when I dance. I just dance. I'm a freestyler, you know?
Right. 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 Have you ever have you ever broke out and just start freestyle on your own? Because I know sometimes they'll break out and just start doing a circle,
Mhm.
and just hyping up the crowd, and you come out and just start doing your freestyle. Like, thank God it's not choreographed.
I used to do that a lot. Now that I'm older, I don't do it as much, but now
Okay.
I miss dancing.
Yeah.
I'm meeting a lot of talented dancers in the
Let's
industry,
go.
and it's bringing that bug back. So my
Let's
birthday is
go.
in July. I'm thinking about busting out like a video of me just freestyling,
Let's
like
go.
working with
Let's
a
go.
choreographer,
Hey,
you
let me
know?
know. Hey, let me know when that's there, so I can come down to bring the
Yes.
cardboard. I'll try to
I
bring the
miss it.
cardboard. I got the
Yeah.
I, I'm
I
getting
miss
old.
it.
I
I'm
gotta
like
get
that
the knee
rugged.
pads.
I'm not feminine when I dance. I'm very rugged and
Yeah,
raw, you know?
yeah.
Nothing about me is feminine when I dance, you
Let's
know? Yeah.
let's go, Antoinette. Let's go. I'm digging that. Let's go. All right, cool. We'll be talking about breakdances for the whole thing. Let's
Right.
let's shift those gears because film is theater. So we got theater, right? So we got you on
Mhm.
stage, scarecrow, all that great
Yeah.
stuff, and then we have you as far as behind, Drew Hill, some really great artists as well, music. Let's talk about the
Mhm.
filming, the acting piece, because you're also was involved where you were able to see producers, you were able to see cameras, lights,
Yes.
actions, and all that
Yes.
great stuff. When did you start really incorporating yourself into the filmmaking piece?
Oh, to be honest with you, is just recently when I
Okay.
first moved from Kansas City to Los Angeles, that was the year 2000, 2001. It was right before the terrorist attacks when I moved from Kansas
Mm,
City to LA. And
wow. Okay.
I was pursuing television and film. And when the terrorist attacks happened, the whole shift in the industry kind of changed a little bit. So I was
Okay.
doing a lot of low budget films.
Okay.
But to be honest with you, I didn't enjoy the audition process because at the time, it's different now. At the
Sure.
time, I was too dark for TV. Now, hear what I'm saying.
I hear you.
At the time, nobody wanted to cast me because I was too dark for TV and film, according to what I was hearing from like directors and producers and casting directors. The
Yeah.
industry has shifted in the past 15 years, thank God. You don't have to
Yes.
be light skinned black just to get cast in something.
Yeah.
But that kind of turned me off. So when I got to LA, I got in dance classes, I was dancing, I was auditioning, I was acting, and then simultaneously I was trying to figure out what else do I love to do? I'm a triple threat. What else do I love to do? And I said, how do I get in production? And it was a long road to production, because after I moved to LA, I went back to school. I got my bachelor's in fine arts. Then I got into fashion. Then I was doing styling. I became a costume designer and I was doing New York Fashion Week, LA Fashion Week.
Ooh.
I shifted away from acting for that short bit and got into styling celebrities.
Yeah.
Um, and they used to come over my loft and I used to make clothes for celebrities on the red carpet. They would come to my
What?
loft and I'd make a suit, I'd make gowns, I'd make anything and they paid me, you
Let's
know?
go.
I
There
know.
was
So
a
when I tell you I've
Go
been
ahead.
every part of the industry, I've
Uh-huh.
been behind the camera, in front of the camera. I understand production, costume design, styling, makeup, everything. I've been like
Wow.
all the way around,
Let's
you know?
go. Let's
Yes.
go. I really would
Yes.
like to take I would love for you to take us around the world of actually the different pieces of what you hit and how you took notes and how you actually absorbed all of that. But I will want to talk about that one thing, and her name is Tyra Banks show. I
Mhm.
saw there was an intern as a stylist for the
Mhm.
Tyra Banks show. I
Mhm.
definitely want
Yes.
because that's That's old school, right? And I want to go
Yes,
back.
it is.
I want to talk. I want you to talk a little bit about that when you were kind of that stylist. What was that like?
Well, I was an intern, so I was intern under the head stylist, right? And I
Okay.
basically, you could just call me the gopher. Like if
Okay.
something needed stitched, I was that person. If a button needed fixed, I was that person. If I need to go return something back to Nordstrom's or go to studio services and exchange it before Tyra went on air, I
Yeah.
was that person. But I learned so much about styling,
Wow.
styling, really. And I got my break on there because me and two other student designers at the time when I was still in school, we got selected to be on her show because we were so unique and creative. I
Okay.
made a swimsuit out of fruits and vegetables. One girl took some piping and some like the air ducts, and
Yeah.
she created like this Fifth Element style of swimsuit. And the other girl created hers just out of pure leaves and flowers. So we got selected because we were creative. We were part of Tyra Banks. She did this competition. It's like kind of like Project Runway, but it was just for her talk show. It's one day. She gave us $50 and said, here's $50. You got to create something, and it can't be
Wow.
made out of fabric. It has to be made out of non-conventional items. Now, in
Yeah.
hindsight, I wish I had the help that all the two other girls had. I had no help. They had help, people just jumping in, helping them. I didn't have a team. So in hindsight, I wish I would have created something more elaborate because they did something elaborate because they had people jumping in, helping
To
them.
help
So,
them. Yeah.
but I in the end, I won. I didn't win the challenge, but I won because I got an internship right after I was on the show.
Let's go. Let's
Mhm.
go. Let's
Yes,
go. There was a
yes,
reason why you were behind, you were behind the scenes watching what was going on in front of you. And then all
yes.
of a sudden you knew exactly what the plan of attack, or the man upstairs knew exactly what path he wanted to take you to next, which I think
Right.
that was super, super awesome. And sometimes you have to work by yourself to be able to get things to a place
Yes.
by yourself.
Yes, well said, well
Let's
said.
go.
I didn't intern long. Her show moved from Los Angeles to New York, and I wasn't trying to move to New York on an internship
Yeah.
because New York at the time was way more expensive than Los Angeles, and I just couldn't see
Mm,
myself doing that. So I stayed in LA and I kind of bounced around. I interned for the Ellen DeGeneres show, a couple of episodes, and then I
okay.
just got into celebs coming over my place, and I got so good at sewing I was making suits, I was making gowns, I was making ties, I was making pants, I was making jeans, I was making jackets. I got so used to that. I would be in my PJs so long, honey, just making a dress, and people said, "Hey, are you eating food?" I'd just be sitting at the sewing machine making clothes, right?
Let's go. Let's go.
One of my neighbors said, "Yeah, I haven't seen you come out of your place in a week." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm making some stuff, right?" I'm like, Antoinette, you gotta eat, you gotta take a shower. No, don't get me wrong, I take a shower, but I just leave my PJs on, right?
Right, right.
I wouldn't glam it up to go sew on a sewing machine. Don't get it twisted. I wouldn't do all that.
Hey,
My
I
hair
was
was
I,
bad.
was- I was gonna ask you about that too. I was gonna say,
Yeah, I
Antoinette,
just
did you ever get out of
ponytail,
your pajamas?
glasses. Yeah, PJs. I'm sewing. But
I
I was
love it,
getting my
man.
hustle on though. I was hustling to pay
Yes,
my bills and to
yes,
still pursue my dreams, which is getting in film, right? I was
yes.
hustling.
Let's go.
So
Let's
people don't
go,
understand
man.
that. Honey. You got to be a jack of all trades when you move to California.
Hey, let's go. Hey, and I think I, you were doing it before, and I always use this as a concept. you were we were actually doing the extra stuff where we had the side jobs and we had
Hmm.
extra things that we had. Now I learned that from my parents, but this happened pre-COVID. Before
Yes.
pre-COVID, we were actually entrepreneurs where we were working 2 to 3 jobs to be able to make
Hmm.
ends meet. But back then, when we were doing 2 to 3 jobs, we were making money to make ends meet, but actually a little bit
Hmm.
more for us to be able to like, oh man, I can't wait till I get that next check, and then go
Right.
from there. But now, when COVID hit, of course, everybody started understanding themselves. And now they're
Hmm.
saying, oh, I can do this. I can do that. I can do this. I
Hmm.
had time to figure out myself. But
Right.
before, we were already doing that. And we were doing that before that. So
I'm telling you,
I kind of feel good
always,
about that. Man, for sure.
always.
Yeah, let's
Yeah, and then I
go.
started doing fashion shows, and I got burned out doing fashion shows. I was flying from New York to Los Angeles, doing working behind the scenes in production, doing Fashion Week.
Mm,
That's what got me excited, working behind the scenes. I was like, oh, okay, this is how I learned sponsorship. This is how I learned brand integration. This is how I learned product placement, doing fashion shows and doing the fashion show production, not being the fashion designer in the show. I learned
Right.
a lot. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of moving pieces behind the scenes that people don't know about.
I do want to ask you about that because I've only emceed a fashion show one time, and
Hmm.
being able to be that MC and seeing how the models actually have to go back for, I think it was like 3 to 4 designers, and how they
Hmm.
had to go back to actually change clothes and then have to be able to come back and get ready for the next designer or the next
Yep.
piece of clothing. How was that as far as, because I can understand you saw the chaos in the
Hmm.
that when it came to production. How was that? What did you learn from that when you saw the production of fashion shows and how everything needed to be put together?
I learned that you need to have a plan B, a plan C, and even a plan D because plan
Ooh.
A never works out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I say this to fashion designers, if they're watching this, you might have your set models, but you need to have backup models. I'm telling
Mm.
you, because usually the day of the show, something always happens where you're short 3 or 4 models, or your garments. Your garments get tore before the model walks out on the runway. You need to make sure you have 2 seamstresses right there by your side, just making sure they can sew it. Because most designers do not do that. Most
Okay.
designers don't understand the importance of having a seamstress and a stylist with them. That's how I would operate as a fashion designer. Because not all fashion designers are stylists, and not all stylists are fashion designers,
There you go.
right?
There you go.
Hmm.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Antoinette,
That.
love, ransom, giving out the love and ransom portions, baby, because there's so many things that's going on within
Mhm.
this industry that people like myself wouldn't know, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
you're teaching people to let them know you got to understand the difference between the two, but understand the difference as well, too, right? You can't be a
Correct.
stylist and then be a designer and trying to be the same thing. But you
Correct.
have to be able to learn these pieces of the puzzle. Before we take a quick break, we got a few more minutes before we take a quick commercial break, everybody. But Antoinette, the one thing about fashion, and very good dresser as yourself,
Aw.
the pieces of the puzzle when it comes to going in. I know you ladies love shoes, you lady loves
Hmm.
some of you love hats, you love whatever the outfit it is to match up with everything. Antoinette Love Ransom, when she's ready to step out on a night on the town,
Hmm.
what style is Antoinette? What does she have?
Ooh. I'm more of that classy but sexy chick. I don't
Okay.
like to show all the goods, but I like to keep something.
Good job.
I like to keep people guessing, right?
Yeah.
But I like the flowy, sexy, classy look when I go out. And sometimes it depends if it's like dressy casual. I like
Yeah.
that equestrian look. Like people know I rock a lot of equestrian boots
Yeah.
and tight pants and
Yep.
sweaters. I love that equestrian look. So it just depends where I'm going. If I'm going out to dinner, I gotta be nice, flowy, sexy, big earrings, accessories. Everything has to be coordinating and look sexy. You know,
Let's
nothing
go.
skin tight. In my 20s, honey, I did skin tight. I'm up there now. Tight. You're not trying to see all the goods like that. Can't do it right now. But I do this. I do the classy, flowy. I'm like Halle Berry. I
Yeah.
like it classy with sexy. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's
Hmm.
go. Keep it classy is what I always tell people because, I grew up with suits, always being able to look like a presentable young man when it comes to suits, and it
Yes.
just makes you feel so good. It's like you feeling your
Yes.
own character. You're your own character, right? And
And
you
people
want
look
the
at you
world to see
differently.
it.
They respect and look at you differently, don't they? They
They
just have
do.
that. They have that glow when you talk to them. They respect you when you look nice.
They do. Yes, yes. And I can imagine, you going out on the town and you got your look on, and
Hmm.
it's all of a sudden you got lights, camera, action. Let's go.
Yeah,
Antoinette
I'm
Love
one of those.
Ransom is on the red carpet,
Yes.
and there's no red carpet.
Yes, I can be low key, and then when I let you have it, honey, I'll let you have it.
Let's go.
Trust.
Let's
I
go,
will let you
man.
have
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Antoinette, hey, I'm loving that, no pun intended, but I'm loving that you're here as far as with me, man. Great conversation. Everybody, yes, we're going to get to your questions and also to your comments. We have Antoinette Love Ransom, the Hollywood correspondent, man, and film producer, rocking it out here on the Rico No Suave show. Antoinette, we're going to take a quick break. We got to pay some bills. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Let's go. Dale.
Are you looking for a fun new way to find interesting stories? Well, look no further. Welcome to No Strings Attached e-News. From lifestyle articles to news in the entertainment world, we are the premier e-news site to find informative articles on a variety of popular subjects. As our online magazine is always expanding, we know there's an article here for you on No Strings Attached e-News. Find out what's buzzing at nsaen.com.
And welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It is me, your boy Rico No Suave. You know, it's all about the famous word today is love, right? And, you know, with Antoinette, there's a ransom to it, right? There's a ransom of, you know, we got portions of things that she gives out. And when she does it, everyone, we just got through talking about her going back into B-boy style, you know, when it comes to, you know, breakdancing and getting out there and showing some love with Drew Hill. Tell me if you want, tell me if you need me, baby. And then, you know, of course, we got the Scarecrow. You know, we got the Scarecrow on the theater side, right? And then everything that you actually have done with running for coffee and sewing buttons in your pajamas and making clothes within, well, you know, for the whole day for celebrities and building that roster. That's what I meant to say. Building that roster in regards to celebrities knowing exactly what your talent is. So, man, everybody just continue to show her some love in the comments. And I mean that. Show her some actually love because she definitely deserves it. So I gotta give some big shout outs here. Louis Green, he says, "Hey, Antoinette."
What's going on?
Hey. What's up, Big Lou? Louis Green, DJ West, he's a big time DJ. If you like house music, you know, he's the guy from Computer Madness. He is the originator from Computer Madness and a lot of great tracks here in Chicago. So if you love house music, make sure you take a look at DJ West. Also, Donna Marie Bird, she says, "I love to see the gowns you made. Bet they are gorgeous." Thank you, Donna Marie.
Oh, yes, they're classy too. Classy.
Let's go.
Yes.
We got the author Denise Jones, who said it could not be done. Yes, big star play that she's actually had. Working hard pays off every time. That's what she had to say say to you.
Amen. It does.
Yes.
It is. And I'm still working hard, Queen. I'm still working hard.
Let's go. Let's go. John T for free. He says, you know, when we were talking about how you were an intern and then you actually made it to the next intern, he comes back and says, "That's a win. I love to see what they made out of leaves, though. That's crazy."
My competitor, her stuff was beautiful. She had 3 people helping her braid the leaves.
Yeah.
And honey, it was just me, myself, and I. I didn't know that everybody else was building a team with their little $50, you know?
Oh, wow.
So looking back in hindsight,
yeah.
I was like, wow, I should have had people just reaching out and helping me, you know?
Let's go.
But I got to intern. I won the bigger prize, so I got to intern.
That's what matters. That's what matters.
Yes.
And I think during that time, it was just not your time yet. But the man upstairs said he has something ready for you. Moving on, love. Moving on.
Correct.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for actually commenting it. I got to keep going because Antoinette Love Ransom is here with us, and we got more things to unpack. So, all right, Antoinette, here's one of my favorite restaurants that I used to go back in the day. And I know you did a commercial, and I think you were the lead for this. And it was Carl's Jr. Hardee's.
I was the lead. And it's so funny how I got that commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I didn't really audition. I was out and about, and the casting director came up to me and she says, "Oh my God, I love your style and your haircut is so cute." At the time, I was rocking short hair and I had that faux hawk, kind of in the middle, rocking that
Yeah.
way before it was popular, honey, way before
Right.
it's popular.
Let's
But she
go.
walked up to me and she just said, "I love your look from head to toe." She thought I was like a lesbian because I was definitely butched and like I was wearing a lot of menswear. But I
Okay.
love menswear. I'm not gay, but I love menswear, right?
Okay. We appreciate you.
But I said, "Oh,
Yeah.
thank you." And she says, I have a little commercial I think you'd be great in. We're doing several different commercials, and it's more like reality show style, and I think you'd be great. And I said, "Well, tell me about the commercial." She says, "You got to bring a friend and you got to play a joke on a friend in this commercial. You know it's the commercial, but your friend's not going to know it's a commercial. She's not going to see the cameras. You're going to trick her into thinking this is a 5-star restaurant when actually what she's eating is just a Hardee's or Carl's Jr. burger." Oh, and I was dying. I said, "I know the perfect friend, honey, because she's always hitting those 5 stars restaurants. I'm about to get her right now." So I invited my friend Lisa. Oh my God, the outtakes were comical. Honey, we were talking about all kinds of stuff on camera. And I was trying to censor it a bit, but I wanted her to be herself, right? Oh, we were
Uh-huh.
talking about everything. We're talking about that movie, American Psycho. And she said it was weird in the restaurant. She's like, "Girl, we got to kick it. Oh, what's wrong with my drink? There's no alcohol in it." Honey, the producers, camera people were dying backstage. They were just like dying. They're like, "This is hilarious." So they didn't put that in the commercial, but that was a good spot. And it was able to feed us for that year. Let's just put it that way. Pay our
Let's
bills.
go, man. Let's go.
That's what I'm saying. I tell people, if you got energy for those commercials, honey, keep doing commercials. They'll pay you quicker than a movie will. You'll be able to
Let's
live off that
go.
profile, you
What's
know?
the average? What's the average of? I know times have changed in regards to budgeting and also payouts and things like that. What's the normal for like a commercial? Because I know most of them are like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, even that.
Correct.
For commercial, what is the average pay for certain commercials?
I know
And it is.
non-union, and they usually just do a buyout with you. Buyout means you're not getting residuals. So
Okay.
a non-union commercial now, they usually pay you 1,000 to 1,500 bucks a day, which is very low, but that's non-union. If you're union, then you're getting paid anywhere from 4 to 5,000 a day, and then you have benefits and you get residuals. Like those residual checks will come in the mail every so often. Every time that
Wow.
commercial airs, you're getting residual checks.
Let's
So
go. Oh
yeah,
my
just so
goodness.
you know.
Okay, yes, thanks for letting me know. I feel
Yeah.
inspired. I feel really inspired now. Yeah, we all feel inspired.
Right.
I think I know exactly what I need to do next. And
Mhm.
continue. Yes, yes, I love
A
that.
little that is a great side hustle because it pays so well, you
Let's
know?
go.
You make
Okay,
you make money while you sleep. So every time that commercial runs, you're making money.
that's what I need. That's what I need in my
Mhm,
life. Okay. Well, Antoinette, thank you for showing the love for that.
mhm.
And let's get to something on a learning experience for yourself,
Okay.
right? When we talk
Mhm.
about difficulties or we talk about obstacles in this industry, because you hit so many like different areas when it comes to
Yes.
fashion, when it comes to film, when it comes to theater,
Mhm.
there's the difficult situations there, right? That you have learned your lesson, or of course, something
Oh,
that you actually learned over time. What were some of the
mhm.
difficulties that you kind of ran into either in the film industry, in the fashion industry? Give me one that sticks out to you where you actually learned a lesson from.
I learned a lesson, and I tell this to all young talent coming out to LA. I learned a lesson working on projects and not thoroughly having an attorney reading my contracts, right?
Yes.
That's where I learned a lesson because I got burned a few times. And talent has to really be on top of it with these contracts because they have to remember these contracts are one sided. If you don't catch the lingo in it, it's one
Yeah.
sided. It's going to benefit the producer, the company, the artist, the event, whoever it is. It's not going to benefit you. So I would tell someone when you get a contract and you're doing something legitimate, like a commercial or a movie or a TV show, whatever it is, have an attorney read that contract. Because now that's all I do. As soon as somebody gives me a contract, I'm sending it to my attorney, like, please read this. Let me know if there's anything I need to look out for. Because trust me, some of the lingo in there you're not going to understand or comprehend because that's just not your job. to read contracts, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would say that because I've been burned a few times. And even
Okay.
then, sometimes you have to research that attorney and make sure they understand entertainment law. It's the difference between
Mm.
family lawyer
Yes.
law. You know what I'm saying? People don't
Yes.
understand. You really have to know who the entertainment lawyers are in the industry, who's legit, who understands the laws and everything. And now with AI and all this
Mm.
AI crap going around, you need to get an attorney that understands the AI, like how unregulated AI is, how to protect someone's, these celebrities, like how to protect their image in projects and movies and streaming, you know, because
Yeah.
AI is kind of taking over that and they have to regulate it a lot better. I mean, that's
Wow.
what needs to be regulated is artificial intelligence, to be honest with
Yes.
you. But that's the lesson I learned is read your contracts because I've been burned and out of hundreds and thousands of dollars. I won't even go there, but it's been a lot of money.
Wow.
So
I can
just so you,
imagine that for yourself with having that much talent. When did you start having, because from a person that's actually coming up and trying, that doesn't have a big budget, are there attorneys that actually fit certain budgets that they can actually read that might be reasonable, for certain people in this industry or trying to get
I,
into this
I, I
industry?
wish, I wish there needs to be, I wish, because even if you're up and coming and say you get your first TV show, those attorneys are not cheap. I think the cheapest I found was $600 an hour. That's the cheapest.
Wow.
Like most of them are like $1,000, $2,000 an hour.
Wow.
But that's the cheapest one I found. And I feel sorry for talent, especially when they get that big break and they need an attorney to look over the paperwork and they don't
Right.
have the money and they're trying to go through the contract the best way they can. And you can't do that. You really need an attorney to look over those contracts because now these studios are screwing over actors and actresses when it comes to residuals and royalties, right?
Ooh wee.
So now that we have the digital streaming platforms,
Mm-hmm.
they're screwing talent out of the royalties and residuals that come from that. They're giving the actors and talent the money from the theatrical release when a movie premieres, but
Yep.
they're not giving some of these studios are not giving the actors the money from the digital streaming as well because they'll premiere something simultaneously at the theater and on digital streaming. And
Right.
actors are they should get both, and they're
Yep.
not unless you're smart like Scarlett Johansson, honey, and she sued Disney and got her cut,
Let's
you know.
go.
But that's what people need to pay attention to because now we have digital streaming platforms where movies premiere on there. So you got to make sure in your contract as a talent
Yep.
that you get part of the theater release and you get part of the digital streaming. It
Let's
has to
go.
be in your contract, right?
Let's go. Yep.
Yep.
I
Again, we're going back to
agree.
contract.
Let's go. Let's
Yep.
go. That's a tidbit. That's a tidbit for everybody to really understand because we all need them, right? We all need them because we're in
Yes.
this industry. If you plan on making it big, these lawyers are there for a reason. These attorneys are there
Yes.
for a reason to be able to help us continue to grow because we're so stuck on our we're so stuck on our talent and thinking that our talent it's going to be, hey, I have this talent. You see what I can actually do. Can we shake hands? No, we can't shake hands. We need to sign contracts,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
we need to read that lingo to be able to say, what am I really getting out of this? So I've learned that as well, right? I've learned that as well,
Right.
and I think that's such a great piece of the puzzle. I think that's missing for a lot of people to learn. So thank you,
Yes, and,
thank
and
you for
that's what I had to learn in this industry. It's one of those unspoken truths that you need to know and nobody tells you, right?
that.
Get
Yes,
somebody to read your contract. You see what happened with TLC, honey. They were like the
yeah,
best female group out there performing, and they were broke.
that is
Broke.
madness.
Yeah. So people have to be careful. They have to really read those. That's the lesson I learned, to be honest with you. In addition to some small other stuff that I learned, but that's the biggest one.
Yeah, I think scammers too. Watch out
Oh
for the
yes,
scammers. The scammers that's out there
yes.
for thinking that they're Hollywood agents,
And they're
and
not.
they're not.
They're
Not.
not. They're not. There's ways to find out if someone's a legitimate agent
Hmm.
and producer and director. There's websites for that, just for that. So
Yep.
you can find somebody and track them, see if they're real, you know? If they're a real producer and they tell you they just have a Facebook page and you can't find their credentials on SAG or a Writers Guild or nowhere else, you just find their information on Facebook, it's a scammer. They're not a producer. They're not legitimate. They're not in the industry. But
Call
sometimes
me
you
on
get,
WhatsApp.
you know, You got to tell people that, because these young cats think social media is like a website for professionals, and it's not.
And it's
There's a way
not.
to find out if someone is legitimate in the industry. It's not through
Got it.
social media. You got to do your due diligence and research people.
If you
Seriously.
if you don't have an LLC or an INC, you know,
Yes.
upon your name or whatever type of credentials to basically, you know, make you credible for me to be able to give you my money.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's gonna be a very interesting path of losing
Yes.
money.
Yes,
So
and the agents, you could research agents all day. Like
yeah,
I have what's called the agent's Bible. So I
okay,
know every single celebrity, I know all their agents and managers because I have what's called the Bible. I have
let's
all the
go.
phone numbers, the emails, everything. So I could legitimize someone like that when they're talking S when I meet them out at these big award shows or parties. I'm
Yep.
like, okay, what agent are you with? I'm able to look up that agent. That's what I'm telling people, have to do their due diligence and research, because Hollywood is full of people that overpromise and underdeliver or don't do
Mm,
anything at all. Right?
mm, mm,
Yes, that's real talk. That's real
mm,
talk.
mm. That's hard love. That's hard
Yeah.
love right there. That's what you're giving out
Yes.
right now. You're giving out hard
Yes.
love, Antoinette.
Yes.
And that's what they need to know. You know, that's
Mhm.
family. That's family hard love right there. So,
Mhm. Fact.
Antoinette, hey, time is not on our side because we ain't got that much time left. And
We haven't
the
even got
time
to what
don't
I'm
love
working on right now. We've covered a lot, right?
time is not on our side, but you know we got to take another quick commercial break, right?
Okay.
And when we come back, everybody, this is none other than the Hollywood correspondent, which we're going to be talking about next, and the film producer Antoinette Love Ransom is here on the Regal No Suave show. Everybody, we will be back in about 60 seconds. See you soon.
Every year, 800,000 children are reported missing. That's one child every 40 seconds. It's every parent's worst nightmare. Right now, there are 483 missing children cases still open. Your card donation can help keep kids safe and bring missing kids home. Donate your unwanted card today. Fast, free pickup, 24-hour response. Plus, you'll get the maximum tax deduction.
Call 800-723-2013.
Feeling sluggish? Struggling with stubborn weight and visceral fat? It's time to reset with Fupa Water. Packed with powerhouse ingredients like spirulina, turmeric, and aloe vera, Fupa Water is your daily detox and hydration boost all in one. Flush out toxins, energize your body, and say goodbye to that stubborn belly fat. Ready to feel lighter and stronger? Get yours today at fupawater.com. And for a limited time, use code RNSS for the Rico No Suave show and get an additional 10% off on your first order.
All right, and welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. You know who's here with us, showing us nothing but the love in the middle of her name, Antoinette, and there's Ransom. Yes. Hey, Antoinette. Hey, are you having a good time or what?
This is fun. I could do this all day with you.
Let's
Like
go.
all day.
Let's go. Let's
You got
go.
this.
I know.
You got this locked. You're
We
definitely
got this.
doing
Hey, you know what? We got to have a part two. That's for sure. And I
Yes.
told you, we got to have a part two, and they got to be in vivo. We got to do it live. We got to do it live too. So we got to make that happen, man. So,
For
all right,
sure.
let's talk about one of the biggest things that you have been in television, but also in film, but also, you know, in Hollywood, there's a correspondent, right? I want to understand as far as your journey, because you've been through a lot of events, and tell us in regards to you being a Hollywood correspondent, how did you get that job to be able to have that, and what experience have you gathered from that?
Well, to be honest with you, I had no experience when it came to journalism or broadcasting or interviewing people. So let me tell you what happened. Before COVID, I would say 2018, I met a producer. She works with the O Network, Oprah's network, and
Yes.
she works with a lot of networks. But I looked up to her and I said, you know what? I want my own talk show. And she says, well, Antoinette, you do enough in the industry already. Why do you want to own talk show? You know, and I was like, it's on my bucket list. I just want to do it. And she says, have you ever interviewed any celebrities before? And I said, no. I work with them, but I haven't interviewed them. She says, well, do me a favor. Interview some people, come back to me and let me know if you like it and what you think. So right off the bat, I met this gentleman named Chris. He's done PR for Whitney Houston, a lot of celebrities. I met him through my friend Kevin. And Chris was a trip. I could tell he's a celebrity publicist, but he got me on the carpet right away. He got me in all the major carpets. Like we're talking big award show, BET Awards, MTV Music, anything big, Harold and Carol Pump event, a lot of celebrity fundraiser. He did it. I remember that first day on the carpet, I froze. And not because I was nervous in front of camera, it's because all the questions that I wanted to ask certain celebrities that were going to be there, just as soon as those lights hit, I saw like 50 to 100 lights in all the media. I don't know what it was. I just froze. And I had to freestyle it. I had to just ask questions off the cuff, not even the ones I rehearsed.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's how I got into it, is I had to pay a celebrity publicist to represent me and get me out there on the carpet, some of the biggest carpets that are hard to get on unless you know somebody,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And that's the evolution. That's how it started.
Let's go. Let's go. I like that. I'm getting into the evolution right now with you. And and, and when it comes down to it, who are some of the celebrities that you interviewed?
Almost everyone. One celebrity that I'm dying to interview that I haven't interviewed yet, even at where I'm at right now, is Denzel. That's one interview that I would love. Like that's on my bucket list, Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like he has so many gems and he has so much knowledge and he's so wise.
Yeah.
It'd be like priceless to sit down with that man and just talk to him for like 30 minutes. That's my dream interview. I kind of laid off the interviews recently because, you know, I'm getting into producing some big films.
That's correct.
But there's a few that I would love to, a few celebs, and Denzel's the top of my list. Like he's at the very top.
Yeah.
You know, I can't think of anyone else that I really want to interview, but he's the top.
You know, one person I want to interview is Jamie Foxx.
Okay, that's one person. I've interviewed him. He's a good.
You interviewed him?
Yes, he's good people. I like Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx is super cool, man. Like super cool.
He is just he would feel like a brother to you. Like
yeah.
He just loves his fans. He loves when people talk to him. He loves when people ask him for autographs. He loves to take pictures with people. He's one of those celebrities you feel like you just know him already. Like when I met him, he just gave me the biggest hug. I'm like, oh, I wish all celebrities were like this. He is so down to earth, down to earth. So I just have this infinite love for Jamie Foxx. He says who he is. He's like, he just represents. There's nothing fake about that man. He is who he is. He's real. He's just real. Like 100% real.
Let's go.
Know?
I like
yes.
that. What makes Antoinette stay humble knowing she's in the bright light most of the time? What keeps her humble?
I think the fact I know where I'm from and where my family's from, and the fact that I still have that small town country girl morale about me, you know.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I haven't lost that. Even being around the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, I haven't lost that. And I have God in my life, you know. I go to church. I believe in God. My kids are active in church. We're probably at church like 3 or 4 days a week sometimes, you know. So I think that's kept me grounded. If I didn't have faith, I can see how this industry would have ate me up and spit me out because I've been subjected to so many vile things. I've seen so many bad things. Mm-hmm. If I didn't have faith, I would have been done a long time ago.
Well, that answers a question I did have, because then I'm going to flip it, right? So because you have a bad day, it's raining outside, and you know you can't go out and do what you really want to do, and it's just one of those gloomy days. What type of music is Antoinette playing to cheer her up?
Ooh, on a gloomy day, I'm very melancholy. Like on the sunny days, honey, I'm hip hopping, dancing around. You know, I love my Kendrick Lamar, I love my Drake. You know,
they not like us.
Yeah. But on today is like overcast and it's raining in California, which is really rare.
Yeah.
I'm very melancholy. Like I love me some Sade, some India Irie.
Ooh.
I love some Commons music. Lord, she's younger, but I love some of her stuff. There's so much good music that I love to listen to. I'm even eclectic. I like some of the Depeche Mode.
Oh, Depeche Mode. Ooh,
Yeah,
let's go.
yes. I'm really eclectic with my music. There's some country artists I like. There's some hardcore rap. There's like stuff in between. But on my melancholy days, which what this is, I'll turn
Yeah.
on some Sade or some India Irie or some
Okay.
Maxwell and just chill
Okay.
out.
Okay. All right.
Hmm.
All right. I know how to catch you on a bad day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, Antoinette, we know how to get
Honey,
show you some
on
love
the
with Lil
sunny days,
Shada.
honey, I'm turning on that Beyonce and I'm at the beach dropping it like it's hot. I get my Beyonce on, honey, at that beach.
I love it, man. I love it. Okay, we got a few more minutes because you already know time is not showing us no love on our
Right.
side right now. So we got to talk about, of course, Denise. Of course, you got the question that was coming right out of my mouth. And Denise, author Denise Jones says, "What is your current? What are you currently doing now?" So that comes into what's coming up in regards to projects that you're working on that the world should be aware of.
Okay, so I'm working on, hi Rockwell. Rockwell's a filmmaker that I'm working with right now. I'm
Okay.
working on a project called Out of This World. It's Snoop Dogg, Mike Epps, Wanda Sykes, and we don't have Jack Black yet. We're working on that. So we're raising the budget. We got some of the budget. We're raising the rest of it. It's a multi-million-dollar film. And
Sure.
then the second thing I'm working on is a project called Pangea. Hi, Vinny. Vinny's a filmmaker and screenwriter. So that's a $150 million film. And
Wow.
that's going to be, we're pitching this to Idris Elba, Kurt Russell, Taya Leone, Chris Pratt, Jeremy Renner. And I don't know if he's going to go with Zoe or not. We're still bouncing back and forth with that, but we're raising the money for that. We found the money now. Now we have to see if the actors are available, get them under contract, and see if the script needs to be rewritten, maybe.
Sure.
Sometimes when you pitch projects and investors don't like your script, sometimes rewriting the script can kind of just solidify things and get you that money.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm working
Wow.
on now. I'm working on 2 feature films. And then someone just called me yesterday. They pitched 17 reality shows to me. See if I can find an investor for that. And if I can, I'll be producer of 17 reality shows coming out.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's what I'm working on right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
There needs to be a budget to clone Antoinette Love Ransom. If they can clone her 5 times, that'd be 6 of you. 5 more, right? 6, right? There would be more to do, right?
Yep.
And because you only have 2 hands, 2 feet, one awesome brain. It says there's nothing much that you can do but take what you can. And sometimes if you
Yes.
take what you can, you use all of that and just bottle it up and like, hey, if you're in your pajamas, you got to make it happen. You got to make it happen. That's what we do.
You always have to reinvent yourself as an artist. People
That's
come
right.
out here. I mean, I wish it was back in the day, like when the Denzels and the Angela Bassetts and the Halle Berrys were pursuing the industry years ago. I wish the industry was like that still. Now you have to wear many hats. You just can't act anymore. You have to be multifaceted, multi-talented now just to break through this industry because it's so competitive.
Yeah.
So that's why you see me kind of reinvent myself from in front of the camera to behind the camera. And
Sure.
real talk, the real money is behind the camera. People don't know
Yeah.
that, but the real
Let's
money is
go.
behind.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I got
And
one
produce-
picture.
produce
I got
also
one
that.
picture that I have to put up. And it's like you're in a construction site. I think it's a construction. It looked like you're in a construction site. I want the world to know about this.
Aw.
What's this?
Okay, so people don't know, but I have a big heart and I love to donate my time and volunteer. So I volunteer for Habitat for Humanity. So they build homes for families that can't afford to buy a home, right? So if you make under a certain income, like in California, if you're a family of 4, you make under 80,000, they'll build a home for you. Basically a home. Like you'll never be able to afford a home in California, but they build that for families if they qualify. And then I volunteer for Feeding America. I was working on one of that with one of my previous clients or friends, I call them. But a band I was representing last year, we partnered with Feeding America, and we was going around different states and cities and feeding middle-class families that were suffering from food insecurity. Those people that don't qualify for assistance are the people that we were helping and giving food. We just go buy them a week's worth of groceries and drop it off at the door. Right.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I like
so
that.
I'm passionate. Like once I get my commission from the movies, these movies I'm working on, I want to figure out a way to invest in my own nonprofit to help people. And I want to focus on artists somehow and help up and coming artists break through the industry. I'm going to figure that out, but that's kind of my passion because I love to educate and help people that are up and coming in the industry to make sure they don't make the same mistakes I made. You
There
know?
you go.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes. Yes.
Showing
Real
love is the reason why you have that word.
Yes,
in
my
your
middle name, right?
There's a reason why you were born to show love because
I
your
really
parents, and thanks to
believe
your
that.
parents,
Yes.
they gave you that heart to be able to show that love and be able to
Yes.
have people that to be unique.
Yeah,
I like to
absolutely.
show love too. And I got something for you. So I got something
What?
for you.
I got
Yes.
my own T-shirt.
You got your own
Oh,
t-shirt. Now
look at
listen,
you.
I didn't make it myself. But what I will tell you is it's worth a lot to me. And I want to give this to you. The reason why
Thank you.
I want to
Thank
give
you.
this to you is because starting off at an early age to be able to have that confidence, but to be in front of people. I think for Antoinette Love Ransom is being able to have people to give you that credit, to build that confidence, to know that you will never be in stage fright. Another thing about Antoinette that I really love about her is the humanitarian, to be able to try and help people. Even though she was an intern, she knew exactly what it was to be able to try and get to that next level, but also to be able to prank her friend, to be able to say, hey, that was not a gourmet burger, that was a cheeseburger, or that was from Hardee's or whatsoever, to be able to keep her friend together, right? To be able to keep that love going on and continuing to grow, right? Antoinette Love Ransom, being able to be in a spotlight like that with different celebrities and people that love what you do and who you are, you're unique, right? And when you have people coming to you with different movies, you understood the industry. And when we come back for a part 2, we definitely want to go around the world with being able to know how you hit all of those, because that makes you you, right? And once we start getting into the cloning, then I'm sure you will be there, right, as far as being cloned. But for right now, we keeping the party going with 2 hands and 2 feet and 1 brain. So I want to say welcome to the Rico No Suave show. We're so happy that you're part of the family now. And yes, this will be coming to you. So congratulations. Let's go.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes. And thank you for being on the show. Any last words you want to give out to people before we're going to show them their social media, but any inspirational words you want to give out to anyone before we tune off?
I would say don't give up. Even when the naysayers tell you that you can't do anything and it's not for you, it's not meant for you, don't give up. Because I had a bunch of people tell me that, and look where I'm at now. Keep going, keep striving, because you only have one life and it goes very quick. It goes very quick.
Let's go. We got to show everyone her social media, because you need to follow her wherever she is and say, I saw you on a Rico No Suave show.
Yes.
Here's the first one, of course, on Instagram, right? Antoinette Love Ransom. Please make sure you go and follow her on Instagram. She got a big following, but continue to build that with her. Oh, yeah, LinkedIn. It's all about business here. Antoinette Love Ransom. So don't go and try to spam her and be like, listen, I got this, right? If you want to do something with her, it's all about business. Here's the next one, everybody. Yes, you know, Facebook. Hey, we just friends on Facebook. Accept me, and I'll accept you, but got to be friends only. No spamming. Here we go. The next one is X. There's only love here. Antoinette Love. That's all it is. No ransom. Make sure you just go to X. And last but not least, TikTok. Right? We doing videos. Right? We're doing videos. Right? So make sure you go to Antoinette Love Ransom. Make sure you blow up her TikTok. Make sure you blow up her TikTok. Antoinette, thank you so much for being here on the Rico No Suave show. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Someone said you need to build some houses here in Chicago.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah,
that'll
so
be
we
my
need to
next
do that.
challenge.
Let's go. Let's go. Antoinette, thank you so much, love. Hey, we'll see you soon. But everybody, put your hands together. I'll talk to you soon. Antoinette Love Ransom, everybody. Let's go. All right, everybody, we got to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for being with us on the Rico No Suave show. Yes, and please make sure you go in and support us. So we're going to go over our social media, everyone, because you know what? we got social media too. It's the website, www.thericonosuaveshow.com. Make sure you go ahead and check us out there. Here's the next one. Here we go. Kaboom. Yes, Facebook, Rico No Suave Show. Make sure you go and like and love everything we're doing there. Here's the next one. You know, it's Instagram. Yep, Rico No Suave Show. Go ahead and follow us there. Here's the next one, baby. Here we go. Kaboom. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yes, make sure you go ahead and check us out. Subscribe to our channel. Last but not least, turns into a podcast. Yes, make sure you go and check out the audio on mixcloud.com/Rico No Suave Show. Everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. Thank you so much for being with us again here on the show itself. But make sure, just like you heard Antoinette love Ransom, be inspired. Always keep going. Show that love. Everybody, we got to get out of here, but we'll see you next time as we end off the show just like this. Let's go.